The violet flash from Varanase's ramshackle tech lab hurled Arjun into oblivion. The hum of the time field generator fading like a temple bell swallowed by fog. He hit sand face. First spitting grit. The Ganges' sacred murmur replaced by a wild ocean's roar. No ghats, no chai stalls. Just a jungle pulsing with alien shrieks. The 24th of June. A coder from Kashi's crowded Gallus was stranded, far from 2025's neon glow. His smartwatch was a corpse, its cracked screen glinting like a shattered Diwali diya. He patted his faded kurta, finding a ballpoint pen, a crumpled bus ticket from Castaways丨and his grandmother's brass Ganesha pendant, warm against his palm. Ganpati Bappa, he muttered. If this is your idea of a hackathon, I'm out. The beach burned his feet, palms swaying like Kathak dancers under a sky ablaze with stars, brighter than Varanase's evening arti. His stomach growled, rivaling the firecrackers of Chath Puja. He needed food, shelter, and a plan to avoid becoming a snack for whatever slithered in the shadows. A coconut taunted him from a towering palm, its husk gleaming like a prize. As a kid, Arjun had scaled banyan trees in Asai Ghat, dodging his mother's chapal for tearing his shorts. He climbed, muscles screaming, kurta snagging on bark. The coconut thudded down, its water a sugary elixir. Better than lassi, he gasped, wiping his chin. Night crashed like a monsoon curtain. The jungle alive with cries. Jackal, Asura, Arjun huddled under a palm, clutching his pendant, its edges worn smooth by his grandmother's prayers. He whispered, Gam Ganapataye Namaha, half expecting Ravana's 10 heads to leer from the dark. Sleep came in fits, haunted by Varanase's smoky pyres. Dawn painted the sea gold. Sparking resolve, Arjun scavenged driftwood, his coder's brain mapping survival like a Python script. Shelter, food, safety. He wove palm fronds into a lean, to humming a half-remembered Badshaw rap to fend off panic. Not bad for a Galika coder, he grinned, brushing sweat from his brow. Inland, a stream sparkled, fish darting like silver rupees in a temple hundi. Arjun carved a spear from a branch, his throws comically off, target splashing like a holly water balloon. If only Stack Overflow had a fish-catching thread. He sighed, chuckling. Days later, he speared a fat one, its smoky roast a triumph sweeter than Kashi's peta. Weeks melted into a blur of sunburn and calluses. His kurta hung in tatters, beard wild as a sadhu's. Arjun mastered the island's pulse. Tides, monsoons, stars, its chaos mirroring Varanase's labyrinthine streets. He roasted yams over driftwood fires, dodged storms in his leaky shelter, and dreamed of his mother's aloo paratha, crisp and steaming. One dawn, footprints scarred the sand, too large for his chapel-clad feet. His pulse raced like a rickshaw dodging cows in Godolia, Rakshasa bandit. He tracked them to a cliff, where a woman carved symbols into basalt, her futuristic jumpsuit glinting oddly. Not Indian, her eyes sharp as a Nautanki dagger. I'm Mira, she said, a marine biologist from 2030, stranded by a time rift off Mumbai's coast. Pirate? She asked, gripping a bamboo knife. Arjun laughed, scratching his beard. Only if samosas are loot, I'm Arjun Varanase's finest coder. Her wary frown cracked into a smirk. Mira's camp was a tech bro's fever dream. A bamboo hut with a slanted roof, crab nets woven tighter than Banarasi silk, and a hand-drawn map of edible plants pinned with thorns. She'd charted tides and monsoons, her notebook smudged with seaweed ink. Arjun shared his fish, spearing trick, earning a nod. Not bad, Kashi boy. Their skills blended like a perfect masala chai. Arjun's logic debugged Mira's experiments. Her marine biology guided his foraging. They built a sturdier shelter, lashing bamboo with vines, and a rainwater collector shaped like a giant lotus leaf. Ready for Shark Tank India, Arjun quipped, dodging Mira's playful swat. Over driftwood fires, they swapped stories. Arjun described Castaways diyas floating on the Ganges like stars. Mira spoke of coral reefs off Lakshadweep. Her fight to save oceans from plastic doom. Their bond grew. Fragile as a diya's flame, stronger than the storms that battered their hut. A third castaway stumbled in. Vikram, a wiry 17-year-old scribe from 18th century Madurai, swept here by a cyclone during a Chola voyage. His Tamil was thick with ancient cadences, his eyes wide with terror. "This is Patala, Naraka's shore," he whispered, clutching a palm leaf manuscript. Vikram was a walking Veda's archive. He tied knots stronger than a temple pillar, read stars like a Chola navigator, and started fires with flint and mantra. "You're a human API," Arjun said, teaching him basic math. Mira showed him fish traps, her patience rivaling a guru's. They called their trio a time-warped gurukul, laughing over crab roasts. Vikram drew kolam patterns to mark safe paths, chanting Vishnu slokas for courage. A monsoon flood drove them to a cave, its walls slick with moss. Vikram carved Vedic symbols, swearing they'd repel asuras. Food grew scarce, yams buried under mud. Arjun designed a boar trap, inspired by Kashi's kite, flying snares, its strings taut as sitar wires. Vikram prayed to Kartikeya, spear raised. Mira tracked hoofprints like a forest rishi. The boar's meat was a feast, their cheers louder than a Ganesh Chaturthi pandal. Deep in the jungle, they found a basalt altar, etched with Tamil script from Chola sailors. Vikram read it. An offering to Varuna, sea god, guided by Matsya, Vishnu's fish avatar, who led boats through cosmic floods. Arjun traced the carvings, feeling India's ancient mariners breathe. Mira's eyes lit up. The altar's on a time rift, its energy stranding us. A ritual could signal home. They needed a crystal, fabled as Matsya's tear, hidden in the island's smoking volcano. The trek was a nightmare. Lava rocks sharp as Shastra blades, vents hissing like nagas. Arjun's pendant snagged on a thorn, nearly plunging into a crevasse. "Ganpati's memeing me," he growled, snatching it back, sweat stinging his eyes. In the crater, the crystal glowed like a Kashi diya at Deepavali, its facets catching starlight. Vikram clutched it, whispering Matsya's name, his voice trembling like a temple bell. Mira tested its warmth, muttering about quantum resonance. Arjun felt hope surge, raw and electric. At the altar, they staged the ritual under Orion's gaze. Vikram offered coconut and hibiscus, chanting Matsya's hymns from the Mahabharata, his voice rising like a Carnatic raga. Mira aligned the crystal with a bamboo sextant, her hands steady as a surgeon's. Arjun calculated angles, recalling his grandfather's sundial in their Manikarnika courtyard, its shadow-tracing time like a Ganges wave. The air buzzed, a rift shimmering, like a mirage over Varanasi's ghats. Arjun's heart pounded. Home, Kashi, his mother's voice. The rift flickered, then died. A candle snuffed by wind. Vikram sank to his knees, tears cutting through dust. Mira hurled a rock, cursing in Marathi. Arjun gripped his pendant, its brass warm. Matsya saved Manu in the deluge. "We're not done," he said, voice firm. They built a beacon, fusing the crystal with tidal gears carved from bamboo. Mira's physics powered its pulse. Vikram's chola knots held it fast. Arjun's design sent light seaward like a digital Aarti. "Our souls to the cosmos," he said, half smiling through the ache. Months wove them into a tapestry of survival. They grew rice in a paddy, using Vikram's ancient irrigation channels. Dug with driftwood spades, Mira studied coral reefs fringing the lagoon. Sketching fish in seaweed ink, Arjun mapped stars, blending Vedic nakshatras with code. Like precision, Vikram carved a Matsya idol from driftwood, its fish form gleaming under monsoon rain, fins curved like Chola temple arches. He placed it by their hut, offering rice daily, believing Matsya watched over them. Arjun, skeptical, touched it for luck. Their village bloomed. Bamboo huts with slanted roofs. A fish trap, woven like Banarasi brocade. A garden of yams and herbs. They celebrated with a makeshift pongal. Boiling rice in a clay pot. Its steam carrying dreams of Madurai's Meenakshi temple and Kashi's ghats. One dawn. A sail sliced the horizon. Arjun's breath catching like a rare sunrise over the Ganges. "Ship!" he yelled, heart leaping like a hollow bonfire. They fired the beacon, its crystal flashing like a temple mirror, and waved palm fronds, shouting until hoarse. The ship neared, its flag a puzzle. Neither Chola trident nor colonial cross, a hybrid of sail and steam. Sailors rowed ashore, their Tamil laced with odd vowels, like a dialect from a forgotten Purana. "Your light called us," their captain said, his beard streaked with salt. They were traders, caught in time's churn, sailing a sea of blended eras. Their port promised no Kashi, number 2030 Mumbai, but a chance at new lives. Mira clutched her seaweed, smeared notebook, Vikram his palm, leaf slokas, Arjun his pendant, its brass gleaming like a promise. They boarded, the island shrinking to a green smudge, its altar a silent sentinel. Arjun stood at the rail, whispering to Matsya, "You guided Manu through the flood, Chola ships through storms, guide us now." The sea stretched vast, a new Ganges, shimmering with possibility. Arjun didn't know if he'd see Kashi's smoky ghats again, hear his mother's scolding over burnt roti, or code another pilgrim app. But he carried Varanasi's soul resilient, inventive, eternal. With Mira's sharp wit and Vikram's quiet faith beside him, he faced the horizon, ready for time's next tide, trusting Matsya's ancient vow to lead the lost to shore.